enforce that judgment at your peril. And he was speaking as chief executive of Liberia. Put it together. Because the sheriff of the court is an executive employee assigned to the judiciary because under the constitution of Liberia, the enforcement of law is an executive function. So the sheriff cannot be instructed by the executive, anybody in the executive. So he, President Thomas, a former practicing lawyer who had been in two branches of government, he had been senator, had been justice of the Supreme Court, kindly did something that was a violation of the law. Look at the man and say, do it, you have yourself to blame. Sheriff Nelson did not enforce the judgment, and the lawyer also filed a bit of information before the Supreme Court saying that your order was not carried out by Sheriff Nelson. That when a lawyer was cleaning out the Supreme Court just went around, talk about talking, but can't talk straight. They just say, to whom much is given, much is expected. That's what they say in your opinion. Because on our constitution, no court precept can be said against the president. The president cannot be subjected to any judicial proceeding unless impeached. So they say this violation, this contempt is not the sheriff's contempt. Because you cannot say no to the president who told you not to act. But if that person, they call the president, you just say, to whom much is given, much is expected. We expect those who are under oath to obey, defend, and promote the Constitution and statute laws to do just that. So it can happen. Under President Taylor, the death coach of Moshua County closed down Chadeco Bank. And Momo Jiba, you stay in town and you see the white and say, oh, your father-in-law, arrogant and Greek corrupt. I saw people, oh, see an example. The Genius Act, now another one in Momo Jiba. He went straight on the order of the president and told the sheep that was put by the death court and they opened Chadeco Bank. The court had added, but the court appeared like nothing. Now, when you do that, how do you expect people to come and invest in your country if the law cannot be respected and stripped from the president's office? Because Chadeco Bank private call and the president had it and there's no bullet. The two of them. If any judicial officer or legislator who engages in any act for which an executive employee may be dismissed shall be complained to the legislature for impeachment. Because for them, the lawmakers, the people in the judiciary, you can only impeach them now. 9, that upon the discovery of any unexplained or unjustified expenditure, the president shall forthwith dismiss the official involved and turn such official to the LACC for further investigation and possible prosecution. So you can't explain your salary, maybe $2,000, and then you send your wife to Ghana to go into it, and she spent 2 months in the executive suite, and the GSA discovered that and check your assets and your salary is on the internet, then President Obama will dismiss you immediately and turn you over to GSA and to LACC. 10, conflict of interest shall not be tolerated at all. You know what conflict of interest can do? Look at President Thomas there. Good president, I mentioned good side, but let me say something little bad. They had a Messerado group of companies. He had 50% share in that company. His brother Steve 50% share. The rich brothers from Cruiser opened Oreo. Beautiful uniforms. They went and opened Mesutex uniform directly opposite Oreo store on Johnson Road. So when you take MCL, go problem. And Mesutex, can't conflict interest. Can't be president of business. that your company will buy from. The Minister of Finance will only approve procurement that involves your company. It's just clear. 11, that any government official dismissed for corruption shall not be reappointed to any position of trust in the government. Because you see, at one time, because maybe when they're coming back, they say the last time I made mistakes, I wanted to discover me. So I will do it the other way. A corrupt mind is not easily repaired. And 12, there shall be no pardon for officials of government convicted for corrupt acts. No pardon. Because corruption is worse than murdering one person. Because corruption kills the whole country, affects the whole country. So for me, in terms of degree and negative effect on the country, it is much higher. And it's growing every day. You know, I tell my best friends in the lawmaking and radio. But I'm not calling care to say, care, don't talk about that. I talk about that. Their role under the Constitution is to make appropriation for us. They take the money and then they appropriate for our security and then for our welfare. Our welfare is to pay our road, our clinics, our schools, and all this. I have never seen anywhere in the world, I did research on it. When I heard them say legislative engagement fund, so I checked America on the internet, I checked England, I checked France, I checked Russia, I checked China, I checked everywhere. I said, so that another name Liberia, I want to make Liberia be good. Nowhere do they have that money. Because the project, that money cannot be audited to show that stolen money was true. They $30,000 cannot be audited as discretionary fund. You go to your constituency, any way you use it, the higher you fee, it cannot be audited. That's terrible. I call it theft. Because in law, there's something called misapplication of entrusted property. I gave you my money to keep. When you take some and you use it for yourself, you are misapplying or you use it for something else. You can say, I saw some poor children, they couldn't pay their school fees, so your money I will give you, and they pay their school fees. Okay, I'm good, but you misapply the money I entrusted to you, that was not it. So when 103 lawmakers take $30,000 each and divide it among themselves, I think the math comes to $3,090,000. Then I want to check on the internet what's the average price of bulldozer. It's like 200,000. When you divide that 3,090,000, you can buy more than 10 bulldozers. And after we fixing the road between Capital and Liberia, for example, or all the way to Fishtown and make it possible. And especially because going around to show myself, I spent a year in Israel. And they told me for 6 months of 2021, no car will come from Israel to Monrovia, not even to Capital to have access to the GFT regional hospital. And no car will come from GFT to Grand Junior for 6 months. And even when I go to the road, because I carry a 4x4 to a Jana research, they will still challenge me going at 5 miles per hour. So it took a long time for a road that would have taken 3 hours. With that condition, people say that in fact, $30,000 each, and they try to justify it. They say, you know, we'll go out and go and pay my school fee. My wife in the hospital, my day, all these propositions they gave us, our preschool, the school, the thing, that, and this and that. So because of that, but use your salary. Your salary is above, very good salary anyway. Why you can't use your salary? And they will trouble you because you made promises when you're going to get a job, you made promises to them. But even that, I tell my friends in the law making, I say, so if you are an employer, the people gave you condition of service, like you find that you find is difficult or you cannot live with, it's easy. Work is a right. Right can be exercised. The right to work can be exercised by not working. Why you want to go back? Why you continue to go back with all the difficult conditions? When my first lady, the former president, after she did something I didn't like that money, but I resigned. So if you say we the people of Liberia, I gave you conditions of service that make it difficult for you and not because then why you go back home? Why you continue to go back? It doesn't make sense to me. You cannot use it as a justification to take $3,090,000 of money that was meant for security and welfare. As I speak to you, police catching him. I know that because I was president of the bar, I was chairman of the police community review board. I said, well, we didn't get gasoline. Basic logistics. I can say more of that because everything is because sometimes we could not know the capacity of the one then there will be. So basically to be done. The doctor told me the other day. He said, I left the hospital 10 o'clock this morning, but I was trained to save life. But 4 pregnant women died in my head because they did not have the waiting medicine in the hospital people are dead. It doesn't happen. There are serious things happening. And Liberian people are getting poorer every day. Everything. The level of poverty today will increase tomorrow. How I know it, I will watch you that the market, what I want to say, I'm a lot of that far from there on Lenin Street. I go on Lenin Street, I say, what company I was here last week? He said, company here, I go up and say, come up. You don't know what here, when you come here on Lenin Street, oh, they make it wrong, about one attempt for you, if you buy football, there's no attempt in the bar for you to figure out your goal. And then you can't put your susu. So, I draft plenty of our friends and I draft my market. We don't need Wall Street or Wall Street. They are the ones that show you how the economy is moving. So sometimes we have to stop that. We have to change the treasury to a top, iron top. It can't continue to be fishing net. And then we say, oh, we promise all the presidential candidates we promise beautiful roads. One of them lasted very from America. I'll show you the most pay. He said, when I become president of Liberia, I'll provide electricity everywhere. In fact, every house will have air conditioning. I said, better. Even in America, everybody can have air conditioning. He came from Australia University. You know, he said, every household will have air conditioning. Amen. I don't see that one in America, in Washington, D.C. or no. Now, when you want to buy small kitchens there, it's in the newspaper, in the environment. He said, when I become president, I'll make sure everybody has electricity. Number 2, I'll make sure every household then has an air conditioner. I don't do the buy and put it in every house. Now, tomorrow, but he said he become president, put the well air conditioner. They said, put on. So, my friends, all members of the Alumni Association and the new ones, I'm happy to keep conversation with you people, but we will not blame corruption on our cultural values such as care. We have laws, and we will not even based on whether somebody loves the country or not. It must be strictly upholding the laws. We have laws for everything in this country. The laws are there. But government, the biggest violation, I showed you the chancellor that the chancellor law, every 27 government, that was for me scandalous. This man that will say, well, verify and then we want or we able to live up to the standard of that law, that is serious problem. We have to do better than that. Thank you very much.
And I think he took his time, plain and simple English, and did justice to the topic. So to deal with the issue of corruption, he anchored his conversation on the enforcement of the laws. The laws are on the book, be it in the transport sector, health sector, wherever we have to enforce our laws to ensure that we can avoid corruption. I want to thank you so much for your insightful comments. The presentation was well structured, and the arguments were indeed useful. We want to welcome in our midst the Senator of River Chief County, Senator Prominent Lisa, who is one of our discussants or panelists, and he will be talking to us on the topic postgraduate life challenges and opportunities. But before we can take the stage, we'd like to welcome or recognize the Vice President for University Relations, the Honorable Vice President Norris Stewart, sit at the back. You are welcome. So I will leave the stage and welcome our own comrade and friend, Senator Community Research.
Good afternoon. I started coming since I've been here 11 o'clock, and I was told that the program would start at some point 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So when you didn't see me in the beginning, I had to leave to go to another program. So I'm sorry that you didn't see me, but that was another program that was set for 12 o'clock. And I put it later and go to an embassy for that meeting, which was talking about our country. So we had, I missed some of what Councillor Bongo had to say, but I got a very good bit of it. And I'm not very surprised because we come from the school that we come from. And I'm sure you started this program that pays tribute to Dr. Sawyer. We talked to Ms. Rome, Social Science 201. And I think every student passed through this class. This was always the biggest class. When you came, especially for those of you who are here now, when we came to the university, the total student population had just gone over 1,000. And so we're here when we got to 6,000. I'm told that the student population now is over 20,000. So it's not possible, you probably would not have the same kind of experience we had in social science 201. But my topic that you have assigned me, and actually now that I'm getting the fullness of the topic, postgraduate life, challenges and opportunities. The fact that we started late as the Alumni Association shows that maybe the first thing we should start with as a challenge is time. Hello? Hi. The management of time. Because if you don't manage time, even the teachers will come to school late and they will manage to give us grades that we will use and say we have graduated. If we don't manage time, you know, I listened to Professor Bongo and he was talking about some of the countries that had transformation. If you see what happened in Malaysia, or if you happen in Japan, for example, China, that we're talking about, Germany, the most critical thing that tests the human capacity and discipline is time, how we manage our time. The point was made about corruption. Even cheating on time is a serious form of corruption. We cut corners on everything, and the first thing we like to cut corners on is time. I'm sure the young people who are leaving had a time constraint. They needed to complete this program at a given time. So because we started late, they are leaving and they are not going to listen to some of the things we say. That's not showing disrespect to us. I think we have started to show disrespect to ourselves because of the way we whatever the point is, it's about time. So the challenge that Liberia has and postgraduate life, I want to start with time. We have to keep it. And God has blessed me to go to a couple of countries around the world. And the places that I've been, I would say over 100 countries that I've been. And the places that I've been, something was about time. We would go to Germany, for example, and it didn't matter whether it was East or West Germany. You got to, the discipline was about time. The president, a program would be giving a certain time to start. The president of the country would be there 15 minutes before the time. And therefore, everybody knew that you had to be there. Time. And everything read about time, the Malaysian experience, and the transformation of the economy had to do with time. In Liberia, many of you maybe are not, I think many people here were not born when Tulsa was president, when he became president in 1971. There used to be a time called Liberia Standard Time, which was 45 minutes different from GMT. A few days after Tulsa took office, one of the things he did was about time. He said we'll start something new. So the work time was GMT. That was common to Ghana, this and that, United Kingdom, elsewhere. All other times are placed against the GMT. So they will say this time plus this or minus this. GMT being the standard time. It wasn't long before Liberians got used to it. A minister who happened to be, at that time, the Minister of Education, who was the husband of the president of the university at the time, Mary Anthony Brown Sherman. He went to work. And he got to the office and he met the president there. That was the end of his Minister of Education job. From that time, that we needed time. And Mary Antoinette Brown Sherman applied it at the university about discipline, about the things that he put in place, and we're talking about it as as Councillor Donald was just saying, that it's nothing that we should be very ashamed of. No, we should be ashamed of, but not very angry about, because to get discipline, you need that. So Mary Antoinette Brown Sherman's son was 1 year below us, and we're doing ROTC. The most corrupt class on this campus was the ROTC class. When you came here, you didn't come, he gave you something written like, he write something like this. And then, when you pay when you want it, you will draw the line down and cross it and get an A. If you didn't pay enough, it can be turned into a B. But it was just money to pay. But the ROTC was a very important course to teach discipline, because people are coming from the military and were supposed to learn how to do it properly. They thought that if we, through the ROTC, did it well, we'll do okay. The challenges of graduate life after graduation, I'm sure that's what this is talking about. Postgraduate life. It's graduating and looking for a job. When we look for a job, we want to be able to provide food for ourselves and our children. Nowadays, quite a number of students are grown men and women before they leave from here. Those days, there was serious effort that you will actually come and be a student and not be a man before you become a student. But we call ourselves men and women of the University of Liberia. So you look for work to be able to provide food, to be able to provide shelter, and to be able to provide clothing. So that is the challenge we have. But the difficulty in trying to enforce that is, what did you study and how did you study and how did you graduate? I'm told the university is making a little bit of progress. After Mary Antoinette Brown Sherman, and sometimes we beat our chests that we probably had the best time being here under Mary Antoinette Brown Sherman. Old people always like to do that. During our time, everything was okay. But Mary Antoinette Brown Sherman was the nominal person who held the standards of this university at the second level. It forced us as students when we created what you call the University of Liberia Students' Union to put in a committee on academic excellence. And that teachers and students were doing review of their performances of their professors. And Mary Antoinette imposed it on us that as much as so far as the students, as the teachers are checking on you, you must help us evaluate the students. The professors. But if you graduate from here and pass crooked way, you see, all of this post life is also linked to general corruption. If you we had a case of a kid from high school. If in elementary school, if your parents pay the teachers for you to pass, and you get to the age where you begin to use your body, especially the case of women, use your body to pass. You will keep passing that way until you come to university. Then you collect money from, you pay teachers, professors to graduate you. I was told a story. In fact, this was classmates of one of the students who graduated from here, who graduated summa cum laude. The classmate who went to school with this gentleman from Sunbury Central High School and knew that this man had no capacity to graduate. The guy himself, when he was pronounced as a graduate with summa cum laude, he started running away. Because he didn't want anybody to get it. He never told people. And the friend told me, said, you know why? Because he wasn't going to classes. He had a job. He was receiving money elsewhere, paying the teachers every day. Now, when a guy like that graduates and goes to work, post-graduate life, when he goes to work, what he does, when these old people that we shot to the polls, when they ran the foreign ministry, to become secretary in the minister's office, you have to be of college. In fact, the university graduates that had the highest score were recruited in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They were recruited in the Ministry of Planning and Ministry of Finance because of the grades we made here. So you learn how to write letters properly. The guy who passed the other way and got a kind of magna cum laude or summa cum laude, that guy does not want anything less than a minister, assistant minister. They want to be director or assistant minister so they can give instruction. Because they cannot even read their own letters. I mean, we get letters. I'm telling you, we get letters. And it's been going on for a while now. We get letters. You feel very ashamed. We implore people. We confirm people. And after the confirmation, and you feel ashamed that you were part of that process of perpetuating corruption. But we do harm to our country. That is why, when I heard a few days ago that the University of Liberia under Julius Salvador Nelson and his colleagues were doing a program where they were evaluating professors to do it properly. That people, not everybody comes to the university to teach this, and associate professor or as a professor, there are grades, there are ways to go and become somebody. You come as an instructor, depending what degree you got, and your experience and the work you've done. The university has to set that example. So everybody, woman, Dr. Wallo Chopot, he used to come and we're walking, and somebody come and say, Professor, I said, what did you say? What did you say? Come. How did you become professor? Who are you to become professor? He said, oh, I got PhD or some bachelor's degree or some kind of degree. You're teaching assistant and all, I call myself professor. He said, the next time I hear you call yourself professor, you will see what we do to you here. So people can earn. As a postgraduate, you have to begin to earn something. You have to earn it, work for it, you feel good about it. But if we just get these degrees And we, as graduates, as alumni, we go knowing very well that we have a false degree, even though it was signed by somebody. You know, because the signature on the degree carries Samuel Nelson, but he doesn't see how all the grades are done. It goes through Dr. Zina, them, and the other people. So, if you make all your ways and got this type of degree, you're not hurting the university, even though we should make sure that we should not give these false degrees. I was in Ghana at one time. The University of Ghana did a survey of degrees that they are giving. At one time, 35 students, people who had graduated, some of them even went for PhD. They checked the records and showed that they withdrew those degrees, then you can go wherever you want. But in their records, you are not a graduate of the university. Brown Sherman did quite a number took steps. So people knew how to go from instructor to this to that and become assistant professor. So the great Dr. Sawyer that we're talking about here, for many years, he was assistant professor before he rose to become associate professor. And that is after writing and teaching and doing so much. I pray that we come to it so that our postgraduate life will be meaningful. Properly. You give yourself hard time, you give your wife and children hard time, you give your husband and children hard time, because you actually go out as an illiterate person. You mislead people. You go to my hometown in Tibeke and say you are a teacher. And I go to the classroom. As senator, I go visit classrooms. And people teaching there who are, they carry University of Nigeria degree, the degree I got. My God. And I see what they write on the board, say they are teaching these children. And in that school, because they're from the University of Nigeria, whatever they say is constant. They say that's correct. I've invited students up to the 12th grade. In my class, to my home, we go through an exercise. The guy said one of them was in the 8th grade. I said, spell 8. He said, oh, something. Senator, I think I have 8, I want you. Then I thought it was the 8th grader who had the problem. So we started going up to the 12th grader who was in it. The 12th grader put on an argument. Well, what do you want to tell me? You want to tell me, say, are you alone, the thing you know that's different from what you did? So saying you won't vote for me, I'm supposed to say, what are you doing? All right. So I said, no. Then I look, my name. Try learn how to first the pronunciation, the enunciation, those things will help you. If we want to reduce the serious challenges we have, those of you who are listening in this room today, are most likely don't have among you the people who have the problems that we are talking about. Most likely. When you come and when we used to hold the intellectual discourse community here, this place was always full because it was a big training ground. These days, it may not be the type of thing that invite people. So the graduates from here are rather, maybe, again, I have to say, And what I say is not about everybody, but a good number who are affected in their own life because of the way they play tricks to graduate. You see that? If we understand what this is about, then we will know the timing for that. That timing will be that there is a time for everything. Part of it is when we actually talking about the things that leading us to graduation. I know that university education gives us opportunities, but the opportunities again will come when we prepare ourselves well. The other thing I'd like to say when you listen to Councillor Gongro speaking about corruption, you know, some of the things about corruption are the things when you talk about, you have to be seen as somebody who is straight. Because when you say your account, you must give, you should audit your account, you should do this and that, you know, everything laid down, it must be. We think it cannot happen in Liberia. But we say that because we are preparing the ground so that we don't do it. We say many things we said that are false. We say, quite often we speak somewhere and say, first time in the history of Liberia, it's not based on facts. And university students and university faculty should not talk like that. Because to be able to say first time, you must have empirical evidence. When you say most of the time, so and so happened in Liberia, how you came by the most? We say many things about our country, but you know, in the Liberian time, it will, you know, so we say it and therefore we make no effort to transform because we think it's not possible to transform. So the person who talks about that transformation is seen as somebody who has a problem in their head. I'm very happy and must pay tribute to the university that yesterday the university restored to Dr. Tipote a professorship that was stolen from him in 1973-74. At that time, the university, under Samuel Nelson and the great team, found it within themselves that they would have to do it right. And the way to do it right is to give credit to the person to whom it is due. Tipote was fired from this university simply because he said some things about corruption. Young university professor, the youngest Liberian with a PhD in economics. At that time, this business college was being created. And he was the first to head the economics department. He was actually meant to be the dean of the college. But the ruling elite at the time took the same decision. So he was fired. He was an economic advisor, budget advisor to the president of Liberia, and he used to go to the executive branch. And he used to go wearing some sandals and some shirt, some gown made in Lofa County, and that was not the type of gown to be at the mansion. That reminded me of the story that was told about Mamadou Duple. Mamadou Duple was the Undersecretary of State to what's his name? Anyway, he was the former Secretary of State. His boss died. And they said he was next. He was to become the Secretary of State. When he went to work, he carried his Madino gown. The people said, they said Secretary of State. But he carried gown, it belongs here, it belongs to the Interior Ministry of Interior, they used to call it. And for years, he acted as Secretary of State, could not be confirmed. It was not until a lot of noise, Liberia now was talking about Namibia independence and South Africa and this and that they pushing up President Tubman, but quickly remove him to put J. Rudolph Grimes, and he became the longest serving Minister of Foreign Affairs. So Timothy was going to work with this type of stuff. So his plan was to sack him from the university and sack him from the ministry, from the executive mansion. He and other colleagues at the time had created the movement of justice in Africa. And everyone said all kinds of things about him. He never came back to the university again as a professor. It took J. Samuel Nelson and his colleagues to redeem a wrong and restore a right. I think it's exactly by coincidence, yesterday, I was at a program where people were being honored and giving an award that is named after Shannon Walser, George Emma Shannon Walser. George Emma Shannon Walser was the first judge, senior judge, not magistrate, the second judge. And one of the reasons that she was fired was because she and Mary Anthony Brown Sherman, about the same time Mary Anthony was here as president of the university. I was elected president of the student union the same year, the same time as Mary Anthony when she became president of the university. And when we went to honor her, we had a program at the Centennial Executive Pavilion. And the student union gave her a sword as our gift. 1978. Now, so many of you were not born at that time. I think Saulo was a student at the dormitory here. I think Norris staff, you were not alive. But we gave the sword to this woman and said, look, this sword you must use to fight corruption in the university, to promote academic freedom, to do this, to do that, to do that. And it was thunderous. So there she was now fighting exactly those things at this university. Then there was George Walser across the street. It was that year that we, at the university spokesman, where we said, with bullets to our chests, the truth, we will speak the truth. So in one of the things you heard the case of Barry, a young man who was killed by Lebanese. So in our view, since there are many people who killed this boy, who we believe killed this boy, they must just grab them and carry them to the pool and shoot them. But the matter was before the war submit. And she said, due process. We got fed up, and James Romayan, as editor of this university spokesperson, wrote on Curious Zuba. Curious Zuba was always asking inquisitive questions, and Curious Zuba said, as Madam, our woman for justice, falling into what we call it, political, as she being held by the political barbarian. So this was the trouble. The people across the street, they then decided that she would then take this and address all of us at the university. Man, they call us and say, now you people look for trouble. I'm not going to support you. If you don't know what I know, you better put the X out of me. You'll find someone like me. It was then that we wrote the letter that when they called us to court, that was read by Jim Promoya. He was the editor. So when that was done, they literally stood up in the court and gave all the lessons about justice and said whether Lebanese, Rio, Mano, school, everybody was entitled to justice. And she will fight for justice for everyone. In this particular case, due process is what would make her determine the outcome of this case. And therefore, but now that we have come to pray and beg and seek what they call it in law, that she will grant us, what do you call it? Mercy. She said, go and say no more. Wow. Upstairs at the Supreme Court, the entire people, the Supreme Court, everybody was there waiting because they wanted a confrontation between Mary Angela Brown Sherman and our good friend. But this is the woman and other cases in the judiciary that demonstrated the special case of this woman. This is the woman that was being honored exactly the same time when the university was honoring Dr. Timothy. Exactly the same time at 2 o'clock. And wonderful people, as part of the International Women's Day, 9 women were selected from all manner of backgrounds for receiving that Justice Channel Award. Something is to be said about doing good. When I say good, not the good of, I'm talking about good that is based on justice, fairness, and based on the future, that we do something that our children will be proud of. Somebody said during that program, and President Tubman's daughter was there. He said, all the things, what property Tubman did he have? What? Look at Steve Jobs. If you go to Benchel, see what? But the thing that people remember for Tubman now was his total involvement for higher heights, things about education, or President Tubman, the sense of integration, how he interpreted it, and keeping our country open for development. Nobody remembers how many houses he left behind. Nobody remembers that. Nobody remembers the places that their children went to school and when they could have spent the money to build the university. But people remember what he done. And so, as a University of Liberia graduate from Luke's interning rates, the challenge you have is to be able to actually represent this university. This university that produced some of the brightest in Africa. The first to have a woman president of the university, which led the way to have a woman judge, to have a woman president of Liberia. This was this university leading the way. I think that we have a duty, and the only thing I really want to encourage the leadership here at the university is to try to do it. It's difficult. All these people who graduating and trying to graduate and forcing them to let them graduate with all manner of degrees. Anybody who comes with too much of this magna cum laude or summa cum laude, you please send your check out. How the person got this? It was I did not get magna cum laude. Commonly said to be a student leader, you have to get more than 2.5 and 2.7 and 3 points. Then you will also get opportunity to be on the campus, in the dormitory. We have to insist. We fight for it. All the time, the young people come to me, and I spend a lot of time in listening to them when they're doing this, that. I spend time and say, hold it. It's not Amanda, it's Amanda Ngaweti. Call it the right way before you do it here. We don't give up. We must not give up. I tell them, how can you want to be president of the student union when you are 30-something years old? When the real students will take place, you already a mature student. So we have to get the rule first. The purpose of which people come here is the degree. It's academic work. So the grade point average, which is 6, that is above 2.7 and above. Then let's try. If somebody is over 25 years old and this and that, let them come. But they should be taking care of their children in their home. So the real students. Comrades, well, you're going to get there. But you see, it's free itself. And what we can do as graduates, as alumni, I think is to continue to make ourselves available to you. I think when Councillor Gombo was talking about the things about corruption, and he made a comment about the legislature. In this room, I'm the only legislator here. I am a senator. But you see, the only way we can have good people is to have people who are also prepared to lose. I went to be senator. I thought that it would be important for me to be part of the Senate to deal with these issues. But our democracy, that we say, this is democracy, is a majority. We fought for it, and we haven't found a change, anything to better. So when you come, and this is my first time I heard Councillor Congo say, "Mom, president." That's a good idea. So it means all these ideas, you're ready to bring it and tell people and say, that's what I'm going to do if you don't vote for me. But it will take some time for the people, including the graduates from this university, to accept that it is quite what they don't think is possible. It is not possible to fight corruption. That's ever since Daily Rawata and we students. But I'm not true. It can be done. And that is why the university must set the example. We should set the example at the university. When we do that, then we can produce good representatives and senators. Our students should go out helping to elect good people. We can say all that we want, since we haven't found any way better than having the representative democracy that we have. We will continue to elect the corrupt, the incompetent, and what have you. If we are not careful, if the university doesn't set a standard, we will have one of the biggest problems we have with the government, which is to have ignorance, to have arrogance. You know, somebody is ignorant, incompetent, and arrogant. Those three. Ignorant, ignorant, yes, incompetent, and arrogant. You talk with people here on this campus, or when somebody wrote a tribute to Dr. Sawyer, a student that I saw the tribute. I said, if Sawyer saw this thing here, he would immediately grab the Nigerian to be teaching in the grade. And the person has university background. That is, it is disgrace, a shame. So the more we are taking these steps, the more it will be difficult for us to get the leadership challenges that we face. The more challenges we face as graduates, the more, but there will always be opportunities when we continue on the right path. And I believe that this university will continue to lead the way. May we continue to keep that light bright. We call it, not in Latin, in Grebo, we call it Pepe, that light. And when I started running my campaign to be senator, I say, something we said, Pepe. People say, oh, one woman running again, because Nathan Williams say, you see? The man say, all so we in witchcraft business, so we in darkness. That's why you want to bring light. But light is important. Without light, we will not see. But the first time you put light on, it can blind your eyes. You close your eyes first, then you open, and then you see brightness, and you see. For those who are in a religion, they do us well. But before I say, I just want to once again thank the university for what the university is doing to revive hope. And I really, really thank the university for what she's doing. It's not Dr. Tipo test, it's about restoring truth at this university. I'm looking forward to the university now going into what we always wanted. Dr. Sawyer always wanted that we would have a lion chair. We must go for those things. We must go and ensure that Dennis, the profound scientist that will be remembered. Yeah, I think that you started well. Keep on. There will be parts of our university to be named after Dr. Sawyer for all the sacrifices he made. And the Alumni Association should lead the way. That we will lead the way for Dennis. We will lead the way for the Mary Anthony Brown Sherman campus that was proposed or was proclaimed by the former president. And I'm grateful that the President Ria is starting the process also of naming things appropriately. What somebody has done. So name a hospital place after Mississippi and some other ideas that are coming up. But this is the way we can make this peace. We will work together to make this peace by pursuing the truth at all times. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you. We want to thank Alumni Community Research for his presentation. I think we learned a lot from the things he said. And even though it sounded a little funny, but the truth is, if you do not graduate properly from the university, if you didn't go to your classes, you didn't take your lessons seriously, you are going to give your wife and your children difficult times because you wouldn't be able to qualify for a job, you will not get income, therefore your children and your family will not have the life that they deserve because you will not earn enough money to take care of them. So we want to thank you for your remarks. And we, of course, whenever we call, you are here, so we look forward to working together more and more. So if you see the program, there are other items, but we're going to skip those items because the relevant people are not here. Normally during these programs, the graduating class is present, and we have the formality of welcoming them to the Alumni Association and telling them about the organization and teaching them or lecturing them how to wear the gown, how to move themselves, and what to do on the day of graduation. But they are not here today because many of them are still trying to get their way through the process. So we'll move straight to remarks. And do we have the president of the graduating class here? So we will take remarks from the president of the graduating class. And let us be very cautious of time because time is fast spent. So, Mr. President, you will please call your name and then say what you want to say.
Thank you very much. The name is J.P. Ali, and I'm the vice president for the graduate class. The president would have loved to be here, but because of the emergency of the day, and he has to go around to prepare for the class night. As we are all aware that the class is today. I want to say up to God, and sustain. And this is a lifetime opportunity for all that are graduating, that we are staying in a university for some 5, 6, 7 years. And it's now the time for us to join an association that has a lot of things to offer us, especially when it comes to motivation, like what the speakers rightly said, in terms of the opportunities ahead, a postgraduate or whatever. So one thing that I learned from Archbishop Williams said that he said everyone is born and the family is at a certain stage. It will be a wrong thing for that man to leave from that point of education to come to me. But it's always incumbent upon us to always take that man further. So that also applies to all that are graduating. We have the task to always push the university forward, but it will be a disgrace to us to always push the university down. So it will be good as we are graduating to have that in mind and should do the right thing that will always help us to push the university forward. And thank you very much for the time. Cheers, Hallelujah.
Thank you for that brief remark. And next we'll take the Alumni Affairs Office for a brief remark. Alumni Affairs Office. Do we have a representative here?
All right, thank you. Ernest Wade, I'm the Secretary General, also working at the Alumni Office. Mr. Hunter is not here. She absent, she's on leave, and so she asked me to convey to the alumni leadership a very big thank you for always ensuring that I was there the whole community every year. She always says that it's difficult in making sure that the alumni fully participate in the event, but have the courage always to ensure that whatever they did is a good thing. So she sent her, best wishes to everybody, for also turning out to make sure that it is a event. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. And we have a very special guest. Like I said from the beginning, she had to travel from the United States of America to ensure her presence at this program. She's the president of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas, and she's here with us. So we'll take Madam Sundra Berry for brief remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Dr. J. Saul Nelson Jr., Dr. Zina, Vice President for Academic Affairs, guest speakers, alumni, everyone. Good afternoon. And I'd like to introduce to you members of our delegation before I make my remarks. We have in our midst this afternoon our dynamic Vice Chair of the Board of Directors of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas, Mrs. Rebecca Brown. We have our dynamic Treasurer Emeritus and also our Convention 2021 Chair Lady, Ms. Fiona Kofa. And of course, we have the First Jim, Dr. Melvin Hall. He's also our welcome. I'm very delighted to have them on this dedication this afternoon. And I want to say we greet you on behalf of the Executive Committee of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas. We also want to greet you on behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire membership of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas. And we want to join the rest of the family and say we congratulate the graduates. We're very, very happy and honored and humbled for the invitation that has been extended to our association by Dr. Nelson. And I'm happy to have the opportunity to represent our organization. You'll be hearing more from us next Monday, but we just are so delighted and so happy to be home, to be a part of this wonderful and special occasion. We wish the graduates the best of luck and God's blessings, Godspeed, and we just want to encourage you not to stop there. This is just the beginning of higher heights. This is just the beginning of great things that you can accomplish. I don't know what I'm speaking to some of them, but this is the beginning of great things. Don't ever see yourself small. Don't ever see yourself as having accomplished everything that you can accomplish in life. There's a lot more out there. There are great opportunities. Seize the moment, seize the opportunities, and move forward. Again, congratulations, and thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. We also extend our thanks and appreciation to all the members of the delegation for traveling far and being a part of this program. We still with remarks, but before we do that, I'd like to recognize our former student leaders who are here attending the program. So Malaya Camachillo, we'd like to recognize you, former chairman of the SUP. Benjamin Sekachi Williams is also here, former president of the senior class, the 99 graduate class, right? Not graduate class. Now we'll move on to remarks, and we will take the president of the Alumni Association, Martin, will make brief remarks.
Thank you very much. Dr. Zena, although we said, I think the one left, Vice President Doris, Madam President, Yuliba, it's an honor and pleasure for me to be here today. For us was yet another homecoming. Like you can see, we've been challenged, but we are still making strides. So, officially, I'd like to welcome you back home. It's good to be home. Most especially at the UW. This is our place, our world place. So, when all of our CVs, one key point will be reflect in there will be the person of the people. And I think our common denominator, where we all have our togetherness. Most especially, I also want to say thanks to you guys, especially from the US. I really admire your level of collaboration, your level of support, your effort. You've been very supportive of the president. I think you represent our backbone. Because when we look at President Monrovia, when we struggle to bring some effort, when challenges are overwhelming us, you are the one that can come step in and give us that level of support and make everything. So on this road, I'd like to say, we better put in your effort, act like you go, you keep the togetherness, and do go for the University of Peru. Like you are aware, we are sharing, but we are jointly trying to execute a project which we launched in the US, we will support. We also launched similar potential here. We have pledges outstanding. It's difficult to get it, but we'll still do some striving to show that we get it. Madam Ministra, she always bring money on the hospitality as to how they go about present and with those money. So we haven't given up. We will still remain strong and steadfast in showing that we can back with those that we need to have to show that our dream come true. As I said, all of you for coming, the Alumni Association is our common denominator, as I said, let us not give up. Let each one go out there and talk to another person. Let us take pride. Many of us here, before we entered the university, we saw the university as the premier institution in the Republic of Peru. And we believe that, even up to today, we still believe that. But what is contrasting is that when you do not take pride in a business partner association, that's a contradiction. A few years back, when we entered the university, I'm going to go early and preschool and support that leadership institution. We got all the far adjectives to describe the body of the university. But when we leave the university, we come back and say, okay, I'm proud of doing that. We become a challenge. Just have a contradiction. But yet, the university there, those are all who have the opportunity to go to Ivy schools in America. Let's say in the West in general. We'll come back, we'll bring our t-shirts, our caps, Harvard graduates, Penn State graduates, Cornell, I mean, we take private schools. to show some of the views that we get money. Yeah, for the sake of this whole conversation, we understand the constraint. We say, okay, each alumni member should just pay $100 a month, like bring it down. Depending on our strength, our capacity, we try to the numbers. We said that we compare ourselves to doing that, we raise money. But trust me, 2021, I don't think we're going to pay. We talk about only 20,000 people. We have a challenge. So, we talk to administration, within the school administration, we started a project. That project has let's go into, but we each of us talking also for 10 projects. So, we are grateful that today, come here and celebrate the homecoming. And we look forward to giving our support to the administration to ensure that we attend the rest of the program within the communication. So, like, we were always there to give support to the person abroad. That's our own matter. Why are we going to do? I don't know. That's what we do. So, they're going to talk to people to expand collaboration and ensure that indeed we can achieve our dreams and make sure that each of us take part in the person abroad. Thank you.
So the University of Liberia Public Affairs Office is carrying the program live on the internet, and a number of our alumni in the diaspora are following the program, and they are making interesting comments on the page. So we thought to take one of them to make a remark. So we will take alumni Emmanuel Paul, who has a few things to say.
Thank you, thank you. I'm happy to be a part of this program, and I want to bring greetings from the United States, Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you very much for including me, for recognizing me. And first, I would like to also pay a little tribute to our professor, Dr. Amos Sawyer. He was a very good professor. I had him in two of my classes. Senator Wilson alluded to the Liberian Society class 201 that we all sat in, and also Political Science 350 he taught. But I would like to say here that the professor, when I got to the university, he was at an assistant professor level, and it took him some time to move up. You see, so I'm just trying to piggyback on what the senator told us about waiting our turn and moving up, working hard to succeed. And that's what Dr. Sawyer did. And I think that should be a lesson for all of us that graduated from the university. To wait our turn, study, do what we have to do, and move on. And I recalled in my 350 Political Science 350 class, and at that time the rice rioting took place. And Dr. Sawyer used that to also as an example to teach us. The breaking down of the system, we made an exercise of it, using the demand and support model to see why the Liberian system broke down. And one thing I noticed this time at this point, we are having demonstrations in Liberia, protests, and the system is not breaking down. So that in of itself is progress. 1979, we had a rice rioting, and the system broke down. A few people protested. So we've come a long way in terms of politics. Today we have demonstration going on, the system is not breaking down, so we are making some progress. I think we should give ourselves a pat on the back. Let me congratulate the leadership of the AAUL and others for a job well done. Keep up the good work. And I hope we all can pitch in. We as Alumni members, as we work, we need to support the university. The Alumni Association needs money. We don't have it. And most of our alumni members are in government. I think we should encourage them to contribute. So, and those of us in the diaspora too can also contribute towards the upliftment of the university. Thank you very much.
So that was one of our members from the United States of America following online and chipped in a few comments. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasing honor to now invite for special remarks the President of the University of Liberia, Dr. Julius S. Nelson, to the podium for his remarks. Dr. Nelson, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Alumni artists, our senator in the hall, the alumni of the University of Liberia, Senator Kwame Wise from the wonderful county of River G, Dr. Moses Moreau Zina, the Vice President of Academic Affairs, and working with us closely in the cabinet of the university. Mr. Martin Penny, the acting president of the University of Liberia Alumni Association, Madam Sandra Berry Hall, our special guest, and our commencement speaker for the first commencement that will take place on March 14, and the team for the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas. Welcome home, and welcome to the beautiful place that we call the University of Liberia. Alumni, one and all, our graduates. I'd like to start like this. Julius Nelson, graduate 1983, Thomas Jefferson Regional Faulkner College of Science and Technology, Zoology major, Chemistry minor. I needed to make that particular pronouncement because when you celebrate your status as an alumnus and you are happy that you are part of the University of Liberia, there's also one ways and means, directly and indirectly, to support your alma mater. It is very important that all of us who claim to be graduates of the University of Liberia, my appeal to you as we go to the future, find ways and means to turn our challenges into opportunities for success at the University of Liberia. We come today to congratulate those wonderful young men and women who have prepared themselves, met the requirement to leave the university, some of them for 4 years, others for 5, others for 6, some for 7 or 8. Come what may, we thank God that your journey at the university is coming to an end, and you are preparing yourself for the University of Life. As you go, we send you our blessings. It is good to share that the University of Liberia, there is a process for academic ranking that is in place at the University of Liberia. Those of us who are privileged to be in the management of the University of Liberia will continue to do our best. in moving this university from one level to the next level. We will continue in our own little way to brighten the light in the midst of all the difficulties we have to deal with at the University of Liberia. There's a process for graduating from the University of Liberia. Lecturers work with students, lecturers send their grades, department propose students who are preparing to leave, students apply for graduation. It is concurred with by the department and the enrollment services. It is also looked at by the colleges from whence those departments work together before it gets to the faculty senate. It is important to note that every time people want the university to engage in generalization or want the university to be operating as if we are on Facebook, we will not operate the university on talk shows or Facebook. At this university, according to the golden rule, on our own student handbook, when there are things that we have to deal with, we do investigation. We give everybody the benefit of the doubt. We follow due process before we make decisions in the best interest of the University of Liberia. We are not carried away, and the university will not be run on our management as if we run to the talk show from time to time. For everything that comes up about the university, without doing due diligence in the best interest of those who are concerned and in the best interest of the University of Liberia. So slow down. The same way the court will remind us to do due diligence according to our own student handbook. We have the responsibility as the university management to offer every student, every staff, every faculty the due process of law before we take action against them. Give us the opportunity, give us the chance to do our work at the appropriate time. This university will then be in a position to respond after we follow the appropriate due process as an institution of higher learning. It was necessary to share that in the process, and I know my friend and brother, my classmate, Councillor Gonglo is gone. But we are standing on the foundations of those who passed through here before us. I love the Alumni proverb that says, I am because we are. And since we are, therefore I am. We are privileged as leaders today to stand on the shoulders of those who were here before us. We all must work together for the transformation of the Republic of Liberia. We can't do it alone. It is my hope that those of us who are privileged to be here to manage this public institution of higher learning, and those of us who are in government, out of government, in the private sector, we call on you. Join us to do those things we ought to do at the university, and to start doing those things we ought not to do. But we also encourage you, wherever you are, to do those things you ought to do, and stop doing those things you ought not to do for the transformation of the Republic of Liberia. Power to a wonderful 102nd commencement convocation at the University of Liberia. We look forward to the renovation process that will start very soon at the university. We look forward to the beginning of another academic year. Our appreciation, our gratitude with our faculty, with our staff, those administrators and our students that ensure we could come to the end of academic 2020-2021 with these graduates who are leaving. We have already lost 2 months in 2022. We hope we can complete this graduation as soon as possible by the 26th of March with the faculty day, and then prepare ourselves for the new academic year. They have not been easy, but we thank God that we are where we are because of the mercy of God, the government of Liberia, the faculty, the staff, the students, the administration, working together, brightening the light, and the locks in tenebris, the night in darkness. God bless you. We look forward to a wonderful celebration of our 102nd commencement convocation at the University of Liberia.
A pleasurable experience all day at this faculty committees alumni homecoming day program. So we've had two of our distinguished alumni in Councillor Chelsea Congo and Honorable Committee research coming here and telling us and lecturing us about things that move our country forward, the university forward. We also had our visiting president from way across the sea, as we say in Liberia, coming with a team, and she had the opportunity to say a few words. We are at the end of the program, and we invite the Vice President for the Alumni Association for a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nelson, our visionary industrial president. Our guest of honor, along with our entourage, the most able and strong academic affairs vice president, Dr. Marusina. All other persons, the London Chancellor is no more Alumni, he's now London Chancellor, Norris Lester Toy. The most humble senator of our time, is always ready to come to the call. Whether you're ready or not, just give me a call and he's walking on to you. Senator Wisa, the other man has left. We are indeed grateful that he came to our call. He said, many are called, a few are chosen. And some of us don't believe too much in politics. Those, when you call for vocation that attend, are those that are destined for that vocation. While it is true that we expected for this place to be the hall to be jam-packed, but because of constraints, and I'm happy that this program was not disrupted. We have had a series of problems in the time past, but thank God it was never disrupted because of what is ongoing. Our graduates are still receiving the academicals, the souvenirs, and the rest of it. That's one of the reasons probably they were not able to come over. You get out of incident in queues. So that in itself, I see it to be something that we all have to work against, that things go in the best way possible. And look back there, technology is very improved for us. Now I'm going to say, before I leave the university, my dream is we have a college of information technology here at the University of Liberia. That is my dream. Now pray, whatever way we can mobilize to get the philanthropics to come and sponsor that we can name that college in their honor. We need to work around it, especially for the alumni community. That's a challenge for all of us. So with that said, I want to say a big thank you to all of you that came out. Living a busy schedule. Today is a weekend, but yet there are others there are some of us who are, we don't just let it go when it comes to work. The lady has stopped in the office while it's not time for them to leave. But yet, you made it your duty to come. So thank you so much. Want to repeat to you, we have a shortcoming. But the exercise is not going with turn around, and route Sunday. To be the fastest for operation, it's not easy. I left them there after 6 o'clock yesterday evening. And sent this money out on my feet. And I think that because I love my alma mater. And so, I want to appeal to you, we have snacks. We sent somebody to downtown to come with the snacks. And they're sorry. So the band will be entertaining us while this will come, then we share the song. But here after the rest of the day, up to 5 o'clock, we started our Alumni Day and ladies. Join the college, whoever you know that you have been with, those people that are coming out that we should have initiated, we should have strong, how to do the care, because they're taking their photos and one day I told them, I said, you don't put the test on the left hand when you are not graduated. They confirm degree on you before you can the test on the left. They insisted that photo is in a yearbook, so they have to pull the test on the left. I said, hey, no, that's a breach of protocol. So very good. Close your eyes, but some of them will also be during the time of procession, they'll be carrying the wood like this. Whereas the wood supposed to be folded, where it's supposed to be carried there. All of those things, but orientation we start giving them, but they didn't show up. Wherever it is to be, we'll guide it on the line during the time of procession. So again, we want to say thank you on behalf of the Alumni Association of the University of Liberia, the mother body, and to our global body, those in Nigeria, those in Europe, those in Norway. We say, hats off to you all. Let us work together to lift the Alumni Association of the University of Liberia. Thank you so much. Benediction that we did with the invocation, we'll ask all of us to just stand, please, and admire there, because each of us are of different religious persuasions. We'll just say our prayers and we hear amen and close. But be reminded that it's not on the way right around what you call master community. That's the last place we talk to them, we already know. So, shall we pray? Amen. Thank you for coming. Thank you.